Hello and welcome back to the 200 mil Slayer grind. We actually managed to do a full 10 mil in a single month this time, which is a shocker. Still probably not going to be able to finish by the end of the year like I was hoping when we set out on this leg of the 200 mil all journey, especially with sailing on the near-term horizon. It is what it is. I'm projecting to finish 200 mil Slayer in January or February at this point, but today we're here to discuss what happened in the 150 to 160 mil milestone, starting with the long-awaited Slayer rework with all the block list changes here. Dragon Slayer grind streamlined. Bronze, iron, steel, mithril, adamant, and runite dragons have been unified into a single metal dragon task. They said they weren't gonna do this. In the last talk about this, they said no, we're only gonna do the lower ones. All those steel and iron dragon tasks that I've been getting, I mean, we'll see what the actual weighting is, but I've been wasting a ton of points skipping iron and steel dragons, and then now I don't have to do rune and addy dragons. I've currently unextended them, so when I get them, they were only like a task of 8, and then I would expeditious bracelets them to get through it quicker. But now I can do all of that with mithril, which is great. Holy crap! It's a 14 weighting? Wow. Yeah, so once we finish Myth Dragons, that is gonna go on the block list for sure. Lunar Keys. We've adjusted the drop rates for Lunar Keys. Yep, they said they were gonna do this. Make them slightly more common. Frost Nagua. Where's my blue dragons? Oh, interesting. So here's what it was. Blue dragons within the ruins were going to be 1 in 250. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I might have to look at killing brutal blues for my blue dragon tasks. I don't know how much tankier are they. I'm wondering if that's worth it for the 1 in 250 rate, because it's as you said, it's 2 times slower to kill them. But looking at the key rates now, it's almost 10 times more key rates, and then per blue dragon task I can pretty much expect to get a key half. You know what, next blue dragon task I'm gonna try doing brutal blue dragons. Helmet to the Moon has been added to the collection log, will retroactively unlock for all eligible accounts. So this tab, which I thought was pretty close to being finished with the helm and the gloves, now just got 4,000 hours added to it. But hopefully with the blue dragon tasks we can knock some of that out. Oh god. No! Shit. Well, I guess we know that the blog was wrong and the in-game is right. Metal dragons. The in-game says range from 90 to 120, and the blog says 150 to 200. So we got 145 myth dragons from a task of 114 or something like that. I was using extended bracelets the whole way, and that's with the current 90 to 120 range, and not the 150 to 200 that the blog says it is. Don't know confirmation one way or another which one it should be, but I'm just going off of what the game currently is. And that took me 3 trips to do, and I got 3 chewed bones. So very good update. We're going to be doing a lot of myth dragons this month, just because it has a weighting of 14 from Duradal, and the highest weighting thing after that is Abbey Demons of a 12, I think. It's insane. I'm guessing it was whatever the Iron Dragon plus Steel Dragon is or was before this, and they just summoned them together to make them take up as much as they used to, would be my guess. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of Myth Dragons this month, so looking forward to that. There it is. 256 chewed bones turned in, which means we're officially at the drop rate for the Dragon Full Helm through bones by itself. However, if you include the chance that the Myth Dragons can drop a full helm directly, it's about a 1 in 32k. And so to factor in both of those, the bones plus the drop rate, it comes out to be about a 92 bones on average to hit the drop rate for both the raw drop and the chewed bones. Us being at 256 at a rate of 3 out of 128 means that we are approximately 11,000 myth dragons for this helm so far. So now that we hit the drop rate, you know, hopefully we don't go multiples of the drop rate at this point. These extended metal dragon tasks have been great this week. It feels like we've done, I don't know, 500 myth dragons a day, so hopefully we get this dragon full helm, this milestone. And soon, I don't think I've ever gotten 5 chewed bones in a trip before. Never looking. Huh. Another minor change that they didn't mention. It's cool. The Slayer rewards shop. So if you right click the guy and click rewards, it remembers which tab you were in. So I'm used to going in there for canceling a task, and so every time it would start on the unlock tab, you go to the task list and then cancel it, right? It remembers that you're in the task list. That's really cool. Ooh, tooth half key already. Worth that. Alright, so verdict on Brutal Blue Dragons. The main reason we're doing them down here is for the key halves, so let's look at that consideration first. So Brutal Blue Dragons have about a 4.86 times better chance to get key halves, and they have 2.33 times more HP than the basic Blue Dragons. So net, that's like 2.1 times faster to get key halves from these guys. About how hard they are to kill, you know, they got basically no stab defense, so basically hit every hit. DPS wise, it's basically the same. One of the drawbacks is that they do damage to you more than the basic ones do, so I do need to use supplies like prayer pots for overhead mage because they mage attack, and that combined with the anti-fires to negate their anti-fire attack. So I do need to use more supplies here. Two of the other benefits of doing Brutal Blues over the basic blues is it's a shorter run back, as you saw me come here now. They have better drops, like, you know, Dragon Longswords and Rune Alkables, as well as Dragon Ammo. And they're more likely to drop the blue dragon scales or the scaly hide for the blue dragon scales, which, you know, benefits my herb lore. Because I'm running out of potato cactus and I still got a ton of lance times. Unlike the regular blues, they don't drop any herbs though, unfortunately. So it kind of offsets that, I guess. And last consideration, and you know, the whole reason I'm doing blue dragons to begin with, is to bank prayer experience. And these compared to the regular blues on a Slayer experience per prayer experience, or vice versa, prayer experience per Slayer experience. Regular blues is about 5 times ratio when you include the ensouled head, and these guys are about 2.25, so I am losing a little bit of banked XP theoretically. Per task I'm still generating the same amount of bones and then even more ensouled heads, but on the comparison of how much Slayer experience I'm gaining versus how much I'm banking, these are slightly less. In summary, yes, I think they are 100% worth doing, and I think I will be continuing doing Brutal Blues from now till we're done with Slayer for all my Blue Dragon tasks. So I thought I got 2 tooth halves in one trip, but it's just a basic crystal enhanced crystal chest key to have. Still nice to see, and I knew it was going to happen eventually because they do have access to the RDT, but yeah, Brutal Blue is definitely worth doing. I am gonna continue. Oh man, alright. And that was like no real specs, just a Surrey the whole time. Cool. Holy, that was fast. Today we get the Doom combat achievements. Just hoping that they're not not too bad because I really am focused on Slayer right now. Instantly completed 4. Let's just see what we got. Doom Chaser, less than 10 minutes, level 8. Did the first level, okay. Okay, so we'll read what those are in a second, but I was curious what my deepest doom was. 11, so I have not pushed very far at all for that. My PB is sub 8, so I gotta shave off 30 seconds? Oh my god. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can get all these done today. If we can, I'll tack on what I thought about all this stuff. There's the ending melee punish one, okay. Told you it'd happen passively. First run. There we go. Grub patrol done. Kill it. Kill it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these CAs already. Alright, one down. A few more to go. Okay, there we go. Okay. That one's fucking annoying though. Holy shit. Alright, well. So let's try the shield one next, I think. That one's just crossbow camp, I think. It should be pretty easy. Let's see what we got left after that. Die, please. Okay, there we go. Mine's better. Yeah, definitely recommend bringing dragon knives for that. Those car faces really suck. And then also the dragon knives only have a 2-tick delay when you're killing grubs versus my ZCB, but we got it done. On to the next one. That was a very good 8. Hey, there we go. Last attempt I did that, I got it on the last tick, and so it didn't count. So, got that. We're going for wave 16. That's what we're trying to get. So let's. Supplies looking pretty good. Let's keep going. Kill it. Yes. Oh God. Oh. Okay. So that's as deep as I need to go then. Now we can focus on just 1 through 8 with the last couple left. Which means we're back up to full masters, which is nice. And we got 4 tasks left. The melee one, which, like I said, I'm going to do last. Speedrun, perfect, and the volatile earth. Maybe that one happens last because you just kind of got to go out of your way for it. But, God, okay. I did not mean to descend. Shit. Well, I guess we're gonna go for one more level here. Alright, well, bonus, I guess. I meant to claim loot and I accidentally clicked descend. Alright, now claim and leave. Fuck. There, PV-17. There we go. Wave 5, mopping up. Now let's see if we can finish the wave and get some loot. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, I need to claim. Alright, plus whatever 200 mil this is, I'll probably drop them over because I don't have an extra Eternal or pick Asian boots, and there's no reason to have a dupe, so money. Oh shit, now what? Another one. This is like a couple hours later. Let me finish perfect first. Ooh, ooh. Can we please? I I was really hoping for a pat, but that again, same night, by the way. Oh. Yep. The 3-in-1 night. I guess I'll drop these over too. Oh no. Okay, well, please be a pet. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, people are gonna hate me. Fuck. Well, number 4. Ooh, ooh. Oh, well. More loot. What? A wave 2 cloth. Okay. I guess we're claiming and resetting. That means we've done all 3 items in like 24 hours. My god. Okay. Just wait for the clan reaction, because I've been absolutely spooning this place this last couple of days. Okay, well. We got a wave 2 cloth. Please die. No, 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 no! Oh, God. He meleeed me and I still got it. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, we're finally fucking done with that one. It took, I don't know, 10 hours. I am so bad at not messing up. Jesus Christ. Is that it? Please be it. Yes! Alright. Yes! Oh! Ah, we're finally fucking done. Okay. Jesus Christ, that achievement sucked. I hated every minute of it. Oh my god. Just finished the Doom CAs. Still kind of amped up on adrenaline from that, but at least we're finally done with it. So let's reclaim our GM. I've completed a combat tier. Yep, thank you. Back to Zuck helm. Put the hilt back on. Doom, 15 out of 15. We can go over what exactly I felt of all of these CAs. So we'll just look at this again. All right, so let's just go down the list and yeah, my thoughts going into it versus my thoughts coming out of it. During its melee charge phase on any level that you can do on the first one, I got that basically right away and passively. Defeat at level 8 before his burrow phase. This one you can do on the deep delves, so 9+. Each one of those resets this counter. I think I got mine on like 10 or something. And so this is just, you know, eventually do enough damage to get it. I didn't think to bring something like Dragon Knives and spec it down. And I think on the time I did do it, I forgot to ZCB spec as well. So it's just, you know, do enough damage and get it before its burrow phase. I do remember one of my attempts at doing this, I killed at the same tick the phase ended, and that didn't count. So you do have to get it before it reaches its last spot and starts to come up. Always wearing a shield. Some people did that with one-handed melee attacks. They just put it like on a DFS and just went with it. I did these separately. I just camped ZCB and and basically ranged it down the whole time. And then for the melee and mage grubs, you could just do, you know, a little wand and an arc light swap. The range grubs sucked with the ZCB because, you know, you have to two-shot every one of them. While snubberlating a grub, you can absorb the boss. This overlaps with the perfect one. It's this one. So you should just go for the perfect and you'll get this one passively. I did, however, I didn't really go out of my way for it. I just tried making an effort to get that done first. While doing some of this other stuff. This speed task was quite a lot of fun, actually. I don't usually like speed tasks because it's often very, very reset heavy. This one, not so much. I think my sum of PBs were like 5 minutes. If you just add up all the floors, it's about 5 minutes or thereabouts. But the main thing with this one, and to get 715, is that you need to purposefully not do shield phase and just let him hit you. Level 3 hits you for 60, level 4 hits you for 80, level 5 hits you for 80, and then 6, 7, 8 hit you for 99. I don't think on my 715 I absorbed all of them, because towards the end there I was just running out of food, because you're just tanking a bunch of unnecessary damage that you're chugging brews between your waves and whatever. But yeah, it's just it took me, I think I finished 8 twice. The first one I was 5 or 6 seconds shy, and then the second time I got to wave 8, I got there. Now, there's a lot of other attempts in there. I died on earlier waves because, oh, this one hits a 99, I forgot to do that. Or I'm camping low HP during car phase, and then I need to, I miss time a stomp or something like that and die. So one of the interesting challenges with this as well is just managing your spec. Running to the boss, I would proc death charge so that I could get a death charge done and early in phase 1 so I could proc it for phase 2. Most of the time I had a ZCP spec, but 1 or 2 of the phases I didn't, so I tried bringing a surge pot to pop early and then also pop on wave 8 so I could get 2 ZCPs there. I don't like that we don't have the between rounds regeneration anymore. I know why they did it, because they were afraid of, you know, people doing that to get full spec and then they were going to push deep delves, but obviously that didn't matter. Just look at Wydega. He got to 200 something, and basically he was only limited on his 6-hour log is what ended up happening, and that was without the spec regen between waves. So imagine if you're waiting for spec between waves, you would not get nearly as deep, because, you know, you're limited by how much you can do in 6 hours. Funny enough, during one of these CAs, I was going for perfect, and I got 6-hour logged on wave 7 mid car phase. So I was like, fuck. This one was surprisingly difficult for me. I only went to 11 before really going deep. I didn't want to go too deep and then just overshoot. So, and then on a few of these runs, I got a couple items, I think, as well. So that kind of ruined the chances there. Didn't get any pets throughout this whole thing, unfortunately, so we'll have to come back and just do some normal runs for pet chances at this point. But yeah, this one took a while, a few hours. Without letting your prayer restore, this one was a slog. Both of these were kind of a slog because they're kind of... So this one was a slog because I would go... I would need to run to the boss without any teleports there or back so that I could bring in 2 extra brews, basically, so I could for sure get there. I don't do the drop a boulder on one spot and, you know, your first stomp during car phase is negated sort of thing. So I have a little more RNG involved, and I just needed the extra brews, and it paid off because I definitely needed them all. But this one was kind of annoying because the setup for it every time was just... I'm not skillful enough to do it in like 1 or 2 attempts, so it probably took me like 10, I would say. And every time you're going to the house, you're overcharging your prayer, kind of like you would Inferno. And then I'm just not camping offenses, I'm just camping overheads as I need and try to use as little prayer as possible. I think on the attempt I got it, I only used the 40 overcharge prayer during waves 1 through 7, and then I could camp it a little bit more during wave 8. But really, it's just take your time and do it without offensives, basically. Perfect probably was the longest achievement. Probably took me 7 to 10 hours. I know it's a long range, but I don't remember because it kind of spanned over the course of 2 days. After the first day, I had 3 achievements left, and that was perfect, one-handed melee attacks, and the speed task. And I was working on the speed task before the other 2 because I had finished all of them, all the other ones. So after the first day, I finished all but perfect. I was working on perfect. The second day, I got it sometime in the afternoon, I'd say. And then the speed task only took a few hours, and I just kind of ended the day pretty much right as my kid's bedtime was rolling around. And it's like, okay, well, day 3 we'll go in and do the other one. But this one, it forces you to play perfect, and you can't make any mistake. You can't let a single grub get in. And the main problem with this, and probably where I lost 80% of my runs, was the fucking melee grub combined with the acid on the floor. You know, you don't want to use thralls because you're spawning more acid, and you know, he picks a random direction when he spawns acid, north, south, east, or west. And if it's north on one phase, west on another phase, and south on another phase, well, odds are that since the grubs spawn on the western side, including the north and south sides, but you know, on the western part of the boss, the melee ones need to come in. So basically you need to run out and hit the melees before they get to the acid, so your shield phases are longer. You have having to deal with more grubs. God forbid any are left over into the shield phase. And then the shield phases were probably the other 10 to 20% of just not paying attention and not moving the boss in the right spot, so he kills all the boulders in 2 hits, and then I'm just not left with any boulders left over. So very, very difficult for me. This one, however, this is not the way the boss was meant to be killed. I have a friend that went to Grotesque Guardians blind. He had never done the boss fight before, never seen it before, and he took what gear he thought was good, but he didn't know that, hey, you know, you should do melee range back then. And so he shadowed. I don't know if he shadowed all the fights, but for sure the last phase he shadowed, and it took him like 13 minutes to get a kill. Can you imagine some of these, you know, doing some of these bosses with just, hey, this is not the gear, not what it was weak to, and just go at it? Now, fortunately for me, one-handed melee attacks, the Ember Light with Oath Plate was sufficient. You land a Warhammer at the start, and I didn't have any trouble hitting him. I think my accuracy was like 75% or something like that with full Oath Plate, so it wasn't that big a deal. I was worried for a bit that this was like Inquisitor Mace locked, just because of how much slash defense he has. So he's got, you know, 300 slash defense versus 60 crush defense. Now, fortunately, his base defense isn't that high. So, you know, Warhammer reducing that by a third down to 60 lowers that DPS count quite a bit. But, you know, having 5 times as much slash defense, I was really worried that I might not be able to do it because of Inquisitor. But that is on my priority list for first of next year, or first thing next year after Slayer, is to start doing Nightmare, because there's been a lot of instances over the last few years where having an Inquisitor Mace would have been nice. I managed to get by without it, but, you know, it's like 10% better and might have made this go a little bit quicker. Plus Inquisitor, of course. This one-handed melee attacks means you can't use Scythe. Even on Crush, you can't use Scythe. And you can't use like a halberd and stand back at 1 tile distance and just melee him all the time. So it's forcing you to flinch him the entire time. It took me 18 minutes and 43 seconds to get that thing. 18 minutes of flinching. Like, come on, that is just not good content. It's not a fun CA. I hate this one. Completed with a Demon Bane weapon. This one was a little annoying, but it wasn't too bad. Given I have a T-bow, you just can't T-bow because that's your main DPS the whole time. The problem is the grubs, obviously. You need to 2-shot them with every weapon you hit on them. And then I would manually cast the Demon Bane spell on the boss to reset the shield during shield phases. You can do something like a Slayer Staff, and that counts too, and you can just auto cast it, but I didn't want to bring that. I just opted to manually cast. It wasn't a big deal. And then this one, clear 8 splats, surprisingly more difficult than it sounds. I did it on wave 5. Some people went later and just deep delved and just made a bunch of acid and got it. I used thralls. I turned off offenses just to make phase 3, 4, and 5 take forever. I think I even did 2 car phases in phase 5, and moved the boss in a specific spot during the first car phase to make him put even more splats down, so that when he put up the volatile earth, I could get a nice long path. And I think I just barely got it on that attempt. But yeah, overall, this most of them were okay. Most of them were fine. This one-handed melee attack was just I didn't want to log on today to do this, to be honest. This wasn't fun. Wasn't fun at all. It's done. We got a crap ton of money from that. We didn't end up getting a pet, unfortunately, but during the perfect runs, I got since the CAs came out this week, within 24 hours, I got 4 Avernic Treads, a wand, and a cloth within 24 hours of the CAs coming out. Some of that might have bled into the second day, I don't remember, but basically, the last 3 days, I've gotten 4 boots, a wand, and a cloth. Time to get back to Slayer. And with that, we are officially 2 times the drop rate. So if you factor in the 1 in 256 from the bones plus the KC from the dragons itself, the drop rate's about 1 in 192 bones turned in, which again includes the dragon KC. So double that is 384. We are now officially 2 times dry. Brooded Blues now sit at their intended rates of 250. Regular blue dragons aren't nearly as generous, sitting at around 1 in 600. So that, let's just do some quick math here. On average, it'll take me 636 blue dragons to get a key half, or 250 Brooded Blues, which means it's roughly 2.5 times better to do Brooded Blues per KC. Brooded Blues have 2.3 more health. They have 245 versus 105. So it's kind of a wash as far as like time investment to get a key between these two. I've done 1,000. I've done all my blue dragon tasks so far there. They aren't that bad. Just pop a regular anti-fire. Since you're praying mage anyways, you're fully protected from dragon fire. They give minor amounts of like dragon arrows and dragon darts and a lot of ensouled heads and a few alcohols and that stuff. So they're not terrible, to be honest. But now that this is not 5 times more common, now it's only 2.5 times more common, it's basically a wash. And right now my focus is I want to bank as much prayer experience as I can per Slayer experience. And when it comes to blue dragons, they give less Slayer experience and a dragon bone, whereas these guys give 2.5 times more Slayer experience for the same dragon bone. They do give a little bit more in sold heads, but that doesn't nearly offset the amount of dragon bones I'll be getting. Plus, the Brooded Blues do take 2.5 times longer to do the task than regular blues. So I think I'm done with Brooded Blue Dragons for the little stint that I did this last week. But it's just 2.5 times more common for 2.5 times more HP. It really isn't worth it, I think. So we're gonna shelve the Brooded Blues at this point. Two 2001 trip of regular blue dragons. We take those. So, how's it going? You doing all right there? I no idea how this happened, but it did. So. Oh, that's not the. That's not what I wanted to see. Shit. I got excited for the loop beam, thinking, oh, I got the dragon full helm as an actual drop, but nope. That said, we are owed that. It's 1 in 10,000, and we're like over 16,000 myth dragons. We were due to get one of those at some point. Another Jar of Darkness. Okay, then. I think we're still not quite up to what we're owed. I think we're owed 1 more at this point, but good to see RNG is finally catching up. Alright, I got the Castle Draken step. Let's see what is all involved with this? When this update came out, I did a little bit of a blog read on it and gave my opinion. The way that the poll was worded made it sound like here there would be a way to scale up this wall one way, but no. The actual way to get up there now is to go all the way over here to Darkmire on the northeast side, go up the rope, and then run all the way back. And if you time it, I think this is probably a good minute shorter than going from Berg to Rot, going here, which brings you here, and running up the wall over all the obstacles and potentially getting stopped by the Fire Watch. So in that regards, yes, it is an improvement, but what was pulled was a one-way scale near Castle Draken, which again would be perfect right on this corner to go up and here. And if you want to put a larger agility shortcut behind it, fine. You can do that, make it in the 70s or 80s or whatever, and then this 61 up the long rope is still viable for people that have 60 agility. And then this is also just kind of silly. If you had to make a jump over shortcut to get back from this side to this side, this rock is completely useless. You could just make the stash do a jump over regardless, or allow you to do the emote step on this side of the stash as well as this side, so no matter which way you approach it from, you can just do the emote in the appropriate spot. So I would encourage Jagex to go back, take another crack at this specific shortcut, because this is not what was advertised and this is not the best way to do this. So give it another shot, please fix it, and yeah. Do it the right way, Jagex. Ooh. And a collection log. Ooh. I think it's like my 4th or 5th one. Be a hard elite. Yeah, that's my 5th one. Huh. First time that's happened. I got the ambassador or whatever in Dorgashkam, and so I used an orbital teleport there. I teleported into his room. Oh, wrong shield. Piece of gilded though. We'll take that. Still the wrong shield though. And that is actually not a collection log. I think that's my second one of those. Clunky and annoying to use. Ooh, we got a new headband. Sweet. We don't get many medium clue logs. 9 more to go, I guess. Most of the elegant stuff, I mean, that makes sense. It's the rare stuff. I still don't have the cabbage shield, huh? Alright, we're technically not there yet, but the stream has convinced me to open them up yet tonight, because I'll be hitting the milestone off stream later, and they wanted to see the chest, so if you see the little live icon around my profile pic and it says live, stop on by. Tentatively we're streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then sometimes over the weekend. I should have scheduled streams for the next one up and ready to go, so you'll know when I plan to go live next. But we've got 95 keys here to start with. Our key half balance almost evened out. We're down to 5. We'll see if that changes from the loot chest opening here. And we'll do 10 at a time until we run out and see what we get. And so anything over 1,000 has just gone in there. I haven't tried use. Oh my god, we got an onyx. How rare is that? 1 in 10,000? Are you fucking kidding me? What? What? Wow. Okay. Well, if it didn't have the monthly bounty for my clan, I do now. Jesus. Alright, let's keep going. Okay. Oh, wow. We are down to 1 loop half. Hell yeah. Just funny, because 2 months ago we were up to 60. The RNG has, or the pendulum has finally swung the other way. And it's not a challenge game. I don't want to go 60 tooth halves. Keep it even. That's all I want. Oh, we got some boots. That was the last item I got. The last unique item I got. And there you have it, ending on 3124 chest openings. Ended up getting dupe boots, and our key halves are balanced! Hell yeah! Can't really ask for much more than that, I guess. Wow, I guess we could ask for the gloves, but anyway. That's not the full helm I want! Oh, you hate me, game. Fuck you. No, now we're loop heavy. We're loop heavy now. Oh no, we broke the evenness. Before we end this milestone video, there are a few other subjects to touch on. Firstly, thank you for watching this far and liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing. The algorithm gods are satisfied and will spread the word to more eyes. Shout out to our channel members who send a couple of extra bucks my way. If you'd like to support the channel directly as well, you can join our channel members for as little as 99 cents. As a thank you to the members, I've been making weekly videos going over the update and poll blogs. They're unscripted and my true unfiltered reactions to the blogs. Can get a bit spicy in the early morning before the caffeine has had a chance to work its way up there, so be warned. Also, a reminder that we started live streaming, tentatively Tuesday and Thursday evenings, still trying to figure out what weekends look like. Maybe late night Friday and Saturday, Sunday afternoons if I'm not too busy. I'll be creating scheduled stream posts, so look for that. And if you see my profile pic say live, stop on by and see the grind in action. To close out the video, we need to revisit our current prayer status and see how we're doing. We ended last milestone with 150mm Slayer and 116mm prayer banked, resulting in a ratio of 0.774. This 160mm milestone left us with 125mm prayer banked and a ratio of 0.783. An increase to be sure, but not as much as I was hoping. If this ratio holds constant through the last 40mm Slayer, I will end with 156mm prayer, which will leave 44mm prayer that I'll need to source at some point elsewhere. Mithril dragons took up a very large portion of my time and Slayer experience this month. We obtained 185 chewed bones, almost the full drop rate of 192, which translates to about 7,900 myth dragons. At 273 Slayer experience each, that means about 2.2 mil of the 10 mil milestone was strictly myth dragons. I'm not able to bank a lot of prayer experience doing these tasks, so this is probably the main contributing factor as to why my banked prayer ratio didn't increase as much as I was hoping. We are currently 2.13 times the drop rate for the full helm and likely to do another full drop rate worth of myth dragons this milestone. Please, please let it be over soon, Jagex. And with that, we'll continue the Slayer guide. See you in the next milestone video.